Yo, what's up, Madden Elite? Bradley here, and we are back at it with another wire video. Kind of just touching base, looking at various things going on around the league. So we're going to chit chat a little bit today, look at a few topics, and yeah. So let's go ahead and dive right into things. We have completed our first week. I'm not talking like week 1, week 2, week 3. I'm talking 7 days, right? We have completed our first week of season number 2 of Elite, and I, like many others, could not be more pleased with where the league is at. We have a lot of really good things going on for us, and as we move into season 2 here, we are really looking to raise the bar, especially media wise, which is something we've been talking about for some time. In season 1, we had one weekly show, which was basically this, and we worked in a couple of league streams when we could. We wanted to do more season 1, but with the timing of the season when we got started, like the heart of season 1, like we had that, like the holiday bump, right? And if you've been around CFMs for some time, you know when we hit the holidays like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, like it always throws a wrench into the picture, right? So we kind of wanted to navigate past that, and then we were going to hit the media hard. So we didn't accomplish as much as we wanted to in season 1 with media, but now that we're in season 2 and clear of all of that, we're really looking to raise the bar, right? And as we move here into season 2, we are doing so with not one weekly show and a periodic like commentary stream, but we are committing to 3 weekly shows. We are going to continue with The Wire on Sundays, and then last week we debuted Trash Talk Tuesday, which was a huge success. We'll chat more about that in a moment. And we have also committed to doing weekly commentary streams. I already have things lined up for this Thursday and next Thursday. Still a few more things I have to finalize, but it's going down. This is what we are committed to. This is what we are looking to make happen, and really the only reason we're able to do this is because we have an amazing group of people. Like, we're doing 3 weekly shows. I'm only doing 1 of them, right? We have Freight Train, who is committed to Trash Talk Tuesday, and the whole commentary stream on Thursday. The only reason we're able to do that is because we have a team of people, and our plan is basically to rotate the people doing it and get other people involved in it. We have quite a few people in the league that are able to run like the OBS streams and stuff like that. So it really alleviates a lot of pressure, and like it's not all like sitting on one person. We don't want that. So we have a large group of people working together to make these things happen, and I couldn't be more happy, more proud of where this league is. I'm super excited, and I can't wait to see how it all comes together. I mentioned though that we debuted Trash Talk Tuesday. If you did not watch Trash Talk Tuesday, right, if you missed that this past week, like, you really missed out on something that was absolute gold. We're looking to make that a weekly show, so super excited for it. And if you look on Twitch, right, like our league YouTube, like we're uploading this Wire video and this show straight to YouTube. Our other shows, so the Trash Talk Tuesday and the commentary stream, we're airing them live on Twitch, and then in the aftermath we're uploading the VODs. So if you look at the views of like the Wire compared to the other 2 shows, the Wire is probably going to have more views because the other 2 first aired on Twitch. If you look on Twitch at the views of our Super Bowl and then Trash Talk Tuesday, you'll see something, right? If you've been around a media driven league, usually the shows that do the best are the Super Bowl. If you look at the views of our Super Bowl and Trash Talk Tuesday, last I looked, which was a few days ago, and I'll go ahead and look now, but last I looked, Trash Talk Tuesday had surpassed our Super Bowl in views. Let me just hop on real quick and peek at what the current status of things is. If I could type right. Okay, here we go. All right, our Super Bowl on Twitch is at 95 views. And then if we scroll over and look at Trash Talk Tuesday, at the moment, the VOD on Twitch is at exactly 100 views. Like, I know that's not a lot to some, but like, I care about that stuff. And for Trash Talk Tuesday to surpass our Super Bowl in views, like, that's huge. Trash Talk Tuesday, like when it was like live, like when we talked about the concept, when Frank and I talked about the concept, and he talked like with the other admins about it, like, honestly, I was a little hesitant. I didn't know if it was going to work, right? Because like the concept of the show, a call-in Trash Talk show, like that takes a community to invest in it and get involved in it and be a part of it. And like, I wasn't sure if that was going to happen, but when the show came around, like, people called in and people were active with it, and it was a huge success. And as it was going down, I was like, holy crap, this is absolute gold. And the success of the show and the aftermath of that, I think we got something extremely special with that, and I can't wait to watch it grow and become more. I think it's only going to grow. But I do have 3 bones to pick with Freight Train. Not so much Freight Train, but I guess there's a small bone to pick with Freight Train, right? I've got a small bone to pick with Freight Train and a couple other bones to pick in regards to some of the things that were said on Trash Talk Tuesday. And the first thing I really have to say is Bread called in and he called out my draft. He's all like, since he traded for all these picks and he didn't even show up to the draft. My work schedule, right? I rotate between first shift and third shift. So like when I'm on third shifts, like I have to unfortunately miss that crap. And sometimes I take more sims than I want. But I always do my due diligence and scheduling and getting together what I can. If I miss something, I have things in order to make sure things are taken care of. I knew I was going to miss the draft, right? But there's this thing called a draft board. And I want to talk to you a little bit about my draft. I think I deserve an award for the very best drafter ever in Madden. Let's talk about my draft. I had 10 picks. 3 in the first round, 2 in the second round. We're going to look at all of my picks. We are going to look at every single pick. And we're going to do it quick too, so bear with me. So in the first round, I had pick 4, 14, and 27. Pick number 4. Okay, but we're getting a little bit ahead of myself. Brett called out my draft. He called out my draft, but I don't even think he looked at my draft picks. He looked at my first pick, right? But I don't think he looked at anything else, because if he did, you would realize, holy crap, this is an amazing draft. Maybe the best draft that anybody has ever had in the history of CFMs. And like, I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Let's talk about this. So at pick number 4, I drafted a 78 overall wide receiver, 97 speed, hidden dev. Pick number 14, I drafted a hidden dev defensive tackle, 73 overall, 90 strength, 74 speed, hidden dev. Pick number 27, I drafted a hidden dev tight end, 73 overall. He can run, he can block, he can catch. And then in the second round, pick number 36, I drafted a 71 overall left tackle with 91 strength. And then in the late second round, I drafted a 70 overall left end. All 5 of those picks in the first round and in the second round are going to be starting for my team. I drafted 5 starters with my first 5 picks. And then rounds 3 through 7, there's a 69 overall strong safety, a 68 overall left outside linebacker with 87 speed, a 67 overall free safety, a 67 overall wide receiver. So rounds 3 through 7, all of them but one are at least 67 overall. And then there was one pick that my draft board missed on, and that is a 60 overall halfback. Brad called out my draft. Apparently Brad didn't look at my draft, because my draft is absolutely amazing. Go ahead and give me an award. We need to make up an award for the best drafter in Madden Elite. I don't know, we can call it something like the Elite Drafter, or you know what, we'll call it the Bradley Award. We'll name it after me, okay? This is an official thing. This is an official thing. I am making an award right now. It's called the Bradley Award. We give it to the best drafter. And the Bradley Award for the season 1 draft of Madden Elite goes to me, Bradley. So when the season 2 draft comes around, I'll give that another Bradley Award. But for this first draft, the Bradley Award goes to me. All right. The next bone I have to call out on regarding Trash Talk Tuesday. Jimbo called in and he's all like, I made the playoffs in season 1 and I suck, so the entire league sucks. No, I called back in after he called in and was like, no, Jimbo's full of crap. Jimbo cried like a little girl until he got a team he wanted in a weak division. He originally had another team that was in a much better division, and he decided he didn't want that team. He wanted another team in a weaker division. So yes, Jimbo made playoffs, but he cried until he got in a weak division. Now that he's in his weak division and he had his one playoff appearance that was one and done, I guarantee you, and like I'm a very credible source because I won the Bradley Award and I accurately predicted the score of our commentary stream on Thursday night. If you missed that, go check that out because I'm a genius. I'm a Madden genius, as long as I don't have the controller in my hand. I guarantee you, with all of my credibility, that Jimbo does not make playoffs in season 2 of Madden Elite. And the last thing that I have to call out from Trash Talk Tuesday that I'm just not sure on. In his opening tirade, right? Freight Train called out a lot of people, and he called out a lot of very good things. A lot of people are spamming a lot of things they shouldn't be spamming. They're like, there are a lot of people that only know how to apparently pass to halfbacks and tight ends in this league, and Freight did a really good job of calling it out. But someone he did call out was our reigning defending Super Bowl champion, Bayman. And like his whole like stance of the call out was that he really didn't get DK involved in week 1. Well, at this point, we are 3 weeks in and Bayman is sitting at 3-0. So like, what's it matter? He won. That's all that matters. And speaking of 3-0, let's talk about the undefeated teams that are remaining in Madden Elite. We're only in week 3, so you would think there would be a crap ton of undefeated teams left, right? No. In the NFC, there is only one undefeated team, and that is the reigning defending Super Bowl champion Bayman, the one that Freight Train called out for not getting DK involved. And then the AFC side of things, I looked at the AFC and like, holy crap, this is really surprising, really interesting to me. No surprise, Bread sitting at 3-0. Bread massively disappointed me in season 1. I expected so much more, and playoffs rolled around. He got thumped in the playoffs. I really expected Bread to like make a fight for that first bowl. He didn't though. And now Bayman's forever going to be able to hold over his head that Bayman was the first Super Bowl champion in Bread's league. However, Bread is responding, he's rebounding, he's sitting at 3-0. There are four AFC teams that are undefeated. 3 of them have locked down 3-0, another still waiting to get his week 3 game in. But the 4 teams that are undefeated, we have Bread at 3-0. We have Estrada and his Browns at 3-0. We have OC and his Bengals at 2-0. He still has to get his week 3 game in. And then additionally, this one is surprising to me. And it's not because like the guy's not good. He is good. I just don't like see him as like a top guy, right? I see him as a guy who kind of like flirts with the top a little bit, right? But that's Fun Guy. Fun Guy and his Ravens are 3-0. And now let's take a moment to like talk about this. So Bread, we're not going to talk about you. We're going to take the Chiefs and we're just going to slide them over, right? And we're going to talk about the other undefeated AFC teams. Browns, Bengals, Ravens. All 3 of those teams are in the AFC North. And if you remember, in season 1, there was an AFC North team that we talked about almost every single episode of the Elite, or not every single episode of The Wire. And that AFC North team wasn't any of the 3 teams that are still undefeated in the AFC North. that team was Canes and his Steelers. Canes and his Steelers was fighting for like the very top spot, and at one point in time I'd picked Canes to go to the Super Bowl, but then like things just crumbled apart, right? So, and like Canes' big like thing was that he was building for the future, right? Well, the future has come, and where is Canes? He's not listed amongst the undefeated teams. He's actually listed amongst the complete opposite. Canes is sitting at 0-3. It's the future, and the Steelers have gone MIA while the other teams in the AFC North are balling out. And like I mentioned that I've never really seen Fun Guy as a guy who like sits at the top but like flirts with the top, right? He's doing this in the mix of the AFC North. Estrada went to the Super Bowl. Estrada and his Browns were in the Super Bowl last season. OC looks like an absolute madman in what we've seen from him, and Canes like raised the bar so high for himself in season 1. And in the mix of all of this, Fun Guy is like, here, hold my beer. I am incredibly like I'm shocked right now. Like, shocked is the word. Like, shocked is dramatic, and it is the accurate word for how I feel looking at this right now. Honestly, my expectation for this was the complete opposite. Like, Fun Guy Chuck in season 1, he had a real good season, right? But he was in the mix of that AFC North, and honestly, like, I felt like he like overperformed my expectations of what I had for him. Like, I don't have like, I'm not trying to say like he sucks or anything, because he doesn't. He's far from that. He's a very good player, but he's in a very tough division, and honestly, I didn't think he could hang in a division that's tough, because arguably this division is the toughest division in the league. And he's entered this division, and right now he's sitting at 3-0. And my expectation going into season 2 was Canes to be the one at 3-0 at this point, and I would not have been surprised at all to see Chuck at 0-3. I don't know what's going to happen with the AFC North right now. I totally expect Estrada and OC to remain like in these top teams, but like as far as Chuck and his Ravens and Canes and his Steelers, I don't know what to expect from them. Like, these guys are putting me on an emotional roller coaster, and I don't know what to expect right now. But whatever goes down, I'm excited. I want to see Chuck hang on to the record he has right now. I want to see him win this division. I want to see him put a thumping down on Estrada, OC, and Canes. I want him to run the table in this division. I want him to go to the playoffs. I want him to go all the way to the Super Bowl, and I want him to win the Super Bowl. If anybody deserves a Super Bowl, it's Fun Guy. It's Chuck. That's what I want to happen. I don't know if it will, but it's what I want. And let's take a moment, right? Let's take a moment to talk about Canes and his Steelers. Normally, I would be like, it's a fluke. He's going to turn it all around. He's going to respawn. He's going to rebound. But I'm not so sure. Let's talk about Cole McDonald. Cole McDonald, the bum rookie quarterback that he took and made into a somebody in season 1 through developing him. 3 games in, Cole McDonald, like, I'm concerned. I'm deeply concerned. And maybe it's a little bit out of superstition. Like, he's sitting at 54 completion percentage, and I've talked about it before. I think completion percentage may be the most underrated stat in Madden. Because it really, like, if you're going to win or lose, it's going to come down to your efficiency. He's sitting at 54 completion percentage, and, like, that's not good. But, like, what really concerns me is his yards. And, like, maybe this is just superstitious, right? But Cole McDonald is sitting at 666 yards. 666. Cole McDonald is possessed by the devil. Cole McDonald is Satan in the flesh. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned for Cane's soul right now. Let's hope the Steelers can turn it around. regardless, so if he wants to make anything happen, he has to turn it around immediately. Because this division, the AFC North, it is unforgiving. He's got to start winning now. He's got to put L's. He's got to throw L's to his division mates. He's got to turn it around now. He cannot afford another loss at this point in the season, especially with the other 3 teams in his division sitting at 3-0. And in the mix of Kane's 3 losses, his week 3 loss came against Green Bay. And if you would have watched Trash Talk Tuesday, Bayman called out the owner of the Green Bay Packers, OMG. Bayman is on record calling him out, being like he's a bum. He's like the bum of all bums. Bayman doesn't know if he's even seen him go to a Super Bowl or go to the playoffs. I've seen OMG go to a Super Bowl. I've seen OMG win bowls. And apparently, like, I wasn't really around him at all last year, right? So I don't know how he did last year. I don't know how he's been doing this year. But I've known OMG for a decade. I've seen him go to bowls. I've seen him win bowls. And a lot of people are sleeping on him right now. OMG, if you're listening to this, I'm not sleeping on you. I believe in you. I believe in OMG. And he might be getting some heat right now, but I think he has what it takes to make it to the dance. This in week 3, OMG handed Canes an L. And I am pulling for OMG to take these Packers to the playoffs. I'm not sleeping on these Packers. Anyone who's sleeping on these Packers, you're doing something very, very, very foolish. My biggest concern for OMG is I don't know if he's invested. I don't know if his head's all the way there. Because I believe Madden is very much a psychological game, right? It's a game of chess. Like, your head has to be in it. And I think if OMG's head's in it, he'll be in the playoffs. Bank on it. He'll be in the playoffs. Shifting gears. I want to talk about Doc and his Titans, right? We saw Doc and his Titans collide with the 49ers in week number 2 on our Thursday night stream. And holy crap, he played absolutely amazing. His quarterback did not have a single incompletion the entire game, though it was a bunch of nickel and dimes all the way down the field. But his opponent made no effort in stopping it or covering it. He left a short crap wide open, playing over top the entire game, and he's just giving them to him. So you can't really fault him for that. But I want to talk about Doc and his Titans. Doc and his Titans looked like an absolute stud in that game that we as a league watched together. However, we are 3 weeks in and he only has 1 win, with that 1 win being that game. So he's sitting at 1-2. I think he's a lot better than this. I honestly don't know how good he is, because we didn't see him in a position where he had to stretch the ball. We don't know how he plays in that situation. We don't know how he plays when he's down. We don't know how he plays when he's fighting, because he pretty much ran the table in that game, right? But I want to talk a moment, right? Let's look at the Titans stats. Jalen Hurts on the season is 42 out of 49 passes. Do you realize that means that Jalen Hurts has only missed 7 passes all season long? He has 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's sitting at a completion percentage of 85%. He's ran the ball 17 times for 110 yards, 6.5 yards a carry, and 1 touchdown on the ground. Derrick Henry has 41 attempts on the year, 239 yards, 5.8 a carry, 4 touchdowns. Probably the biggest concern looking at the Titans is their passing game. We didn't see them stretch the field in week 2, and I'm not certain they've stretched the field at all year. The leading receiver for the Titans is Derrick Henry with 12 receptions, 158 yards. When I look at the schedule, though, like there is some concern. I find it really hard to root against these stat lines. Like, honestly, like, in the end, wins and losses are what matters, but like, I find it really hard to root against these stat lines. And when I look at his losses, the 2 losses he's had, in week 1 he lost 24-28 against Mex, and then week number 3 he lost 21-28 against Zell. I've given Zell a lot of crap, and I've basically gone on record being like, he's beat nobody. This 21-28 win might be Zell's first win, where I back up and say, well, hang on, wait a minute, maybe there's something there to Zell. However, that's jumping the gun. I'm not going to give him no credit because screw him. When I look, like, his 2 losses, neither of them are losses. Doc's 2 losses, neither of them are losses that make me go, pretender, right? When I look at them, I think they were close games. Both of them were 1-score games. And then he had that massive win in week 2, and he's got these impressive stat lines. And then I look at his schedule. The AFC South looks like it's got a pretty weak schedule. When I look at their schedule, there's only 1 game I see on Doc's schedule that I look and think, oh, he's got a top guy that week. And that 1 game is against, he collides with Bayman. What I'm basically getting at is, yeah, he's sitting with 2 losses and 1 win, but I have a feeling that Doc, we're going to be saying that name a lot this season. We'll see how it plays out, though. And to wrap things up, let's take a moment to look at some stat leaders around the league. Patrick Mahomes is on pace for 5,600 plus yards. Nick Chubb is on pace for almost 2,900 yards. While Nick Chubb may lead in yards, he's not leading in touchdowns. That honor goes to the running backs from LA, the LA backs. Cam Akers and Austin Eckler are both sitting at 7 touchdowns. As far as the leading wide receiver goes, it's a very close race. The wide receiver that sticks out to me the most is the wide receiver with the 3rd most receiving yards. While this guy has the 3rd most receiving yards, he's uncontested for the most touchdowns by a wide receiver right now. And this wide receiver is the reason that Bayman got heat from his week 1 game from Freight Train. Basically, KJ Hamlin. KJ Hamlin has the 3rd most receiving yards. There's only about 60 yards that separate him from the leading receiver in yards, which is no surprise, Tyreek Hill. However, he has the most. KJ Hamlin has the most touchdowns. He's sitting at 7 touchdowns on the season. Bayman has added this ridiculous weapon to line up next to DK Metcalf. How you gonna cover both? You're not. That is the news around the league. 3 weeks in to season number 2. As we move forward in season number 2, good luck to everybody. And may the Madden gods favor you immensely. Until next time, peace.